Hi and welcome to a new video on my channel. Today we're making snowflakes. This pattern to be exact. This is a very quick pattern that I came up with. It's only one row and it takes about 10 minutes to make one of these. So it's very quick, very nice, and it will make a perfect gift or a tree decoration. And to get it stiff like this one, I will have a separate video on different methods of stiffening crochet ornaments. This is what we will get at the end of the tutorial, and this is what you'll get after stiffening it and blocking it on a mat. So let's get started. To make one of these snowflakes, you will need cotton yarn, the regular kind of cotton yarn, 50 grams, about 115 to 120 meters. I prefer white for these, but you can choose whatever color you like. A hook that goes with this yarn. This is the smaller number recommended on the yarn. Please don't go smaller because then you won't be able to work into the loops. A tapestry needle and a pair of scissors as always. If you want to, you can use thinner yarn. This is almost number 10, and the hook that goes with it. This is a 1.75 millimeter hook. If you use the thin yarn, you will get a much smaller snowflake, which you can use in earrings, and I will have a separate video on how to make earrings out of these snowflakes. For this tutorial I'll be using this blue yarn because I want you to be able to see the stitches, and a thicker hook, 3.5 millimeter, because this yarn needs a slightly thicker hook. We'll be working in a magic ring. If you want to, you can work in a chain 5 or chain 4 and slip stitch into the first chain, but I prefer a magic ring because you can pull it closed when you're finished. So make a loop with the short end in front and the working end in the back. Insert the hook through the magic ring and pull up a loop. Then chain 1, and we will start with a 2 double crochet cluster. I like to make a standing double crochet, so I hold on to the yarn, put the hook behind, so we twist this loop, and then make a double crochet as usual, except we already have the yarn over here. So insert the hook, pick up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and now we finish the double crochet cluster. So we yarn over, insert the hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 3. This makes one cluster. We'll have 12 of these clusters in total around this magic ring, which is why I recommend using the magic ring, because then you can pull it tight. Then we continue with chain 7. Do not pull on these chains because you'll need to work into the back bumps of these chains. Now we turn the chain and look at it. We will skip the first chain and work into the second chain. Put a slip stitch there, and then 2 more slip stitches also in the back bumps. We have this piece right here finished, and now we chain 3, skip the first chain, again look at the back bumps, slip stitch into the next chain, then into the next chain, again a slip stitch, and then we slip stitch into this chain that was already worked into once. Now we have the second piece here, and we'll make the third, chain 3, slip stitch into the back bump of the second chain, and then the slip stitch again, and slip stitch into this middle chain here. Now we will continue working down the chain into the back bumps here, 3 slip stitches. Then we make another 2 double crochet cluster into the magic ring, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, and finish them together. And then we chain 3, and we will make a picot by inserting the hook in the first of these 3 chains, so the third from the hook, and slip stitching. Then we have another cluster and another one of these. Chain 7. Look at the back bumps, skip the first chain, and then slip stitch 3 times. Then chain 3 and slip stitch into the second and third chain from the hook and the common chain here. Then chain 3 again, skip the first chain and slip stitch 3 times. Then we continue down the chain, 3 slip stitches, and then we make another double crochet cluster, and another picot, chain 3, now we're back to this section. So we repeat this section 4 more times until we have worked 6 of these sections in total. Cluster, chain 7, skip the first chain, slip stitch 3 times, chain 3, skip the first chain, slip stitch 3 times, and again chain 3, skip the first chain, slip stitch 3 times. Then back down the chain, 3 slip stitches, two double crochet cluster in the magic ring, chain 3, and finish a picot. You can pull on the yarn if you want to make it a bit tighter, and continue like this. When you're finished with the last cluster and the last picot, you can pull on the tail to close the magic ring. And to finish the snowflake, we look for the top of the first cluster and slip stitch into it. Then we cut off the excess yarn, leaving a tail that we will weave in, and pull on the tail. All that is left now is to weave in the 2 ends. I just broke off mine because it's quite soft, so oops. Once you starch this, it should be much stiffer and it should not have any problems with holding its shape. And that's it. The snowflake is finished. Okay, let me show you how to fix this because I broke the yarn here and I only have this tiny bit left. I will use the second tail to fix it. So first of all, to make an invisible seam here, I will go from front to back through the next stitch and then back over and into the stitch from front to back through the middle of the stitch in the picot. This way you won't see the slip stitch. And now I will go down to the middle. I will go through these loops to save my work, otherwise I would have to unravel this whole thing. So just going through these. And now the middle is secure and I can weave in the end as always, going back and forth 3 times. Once the snowflake is starched, you can use one of these to hang it, but I think you have to sew it on. Or you can use some metallic thread to add a bit of sparkle. You can insert it through one of the bases left by the pins and just make a knot. And there you have it, your very own Christmas tree snowflake ornament. Now I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and that you will make many of these snowflakes, and I will see you in my next video where we experiment with different methods of stiffening these snowflakes. So I'll see you then, and if you like this video please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to know when I publish the next videos please subscribe. I'll see you soon. Bye!